Hey everybody, so welcome to my channel. My chair rolls back and forth. I need to get one of those rugs that keep it from rolling. Anyway, I've been gone for a little while. We had this really amazing event with Developalooza 3 here in Chicago, which was a huge success, and we are looking forward to the next one next year. If you don't know what that is, you can follow my partner, Devel House, and it's a really great time. We bring a lot of Twitch DJs together from all over the country, all over the world, including Canada. And we'll be doing our next one next year, Developalooza 4. We're calling it D3. Anyway, I've been gone, and then after that weekend, I got really sick. I was in bed and then last week was just a busy week getting some things going with another company that I'm anticipating working with and for. I say all that to acknowledge my being gone. And a couple of things I've been thinking of. One thing that's on my mind right now, an acquaintance of mine just lost her father, and it kind of got me thinking and remembering about my father and the relationship that I had with him. He was a great man. He was a really great man. He was a Christian, or my mom and my dad are both Christians. I personally went to a private Christian college for 2 years, and the joke is I went to a private Christian college to pray the gay away, and in turn they offered me a scholarship to do West Side Story, and when I played action in West Side Story, it kind of negated the whole pray the gay away. That's kind of my running joke. Anyway, so I left that college after about 2 years, and I found my way to New York, where I studied in New York for 3 years. Well, closer to years, a little over 2 years. Really great experience there where I learned the arts. I learned from really incredible teachers, dance and music and theater and improv. That training was incredibly beneficial for me, not only as a leader in industry, also as an artist and a person who values relationships. My dad passed away in 2007. I was living in California. I had just done a one-man show where they were able to come out and visit. We did a fundraising event for my father. And looking back, one of the groups that was in relationship to that fundraising event was the Heritage Foundation. And I didn't know at the time who they were, and they certainly weren't this group of people that they are today. My dad was a Christian and a very good man. He was white, he was cisgendered, he was tall, he was handsome. The entire system was made up for his ability to view the world from a black and white stance. Apparently at the beginning of my dad's relationship with my mom, he was very dogmatic, very right about things, and that kind of carried over in their relationship. My mom put a stop to it very early on. She's a very strong woman. They were together for 25 plus years before my dad unfortunately passed away. During the time in which that all occurred, I had come out of the closet to my family when I was about 20 years old. And a piece of advice that a friend of mine who was gay gave to me said that you've been dealing with this your entire life. And I had, from a very, very young age, before I knew what sexuality was, before I knew what that was a determinant factor in who I was. I knew from the age of 5 that I was different. And then once I hit puberty, I became very aware of my attraction to the same sex. And I also had mentors that I had an affinity towards. My karate instructor, who was very attractive, but also kind of represented a version of manhood that I wanted to emulate. He was disciplined. He was, in a way, rebellious. He very handsome. And he ended up passing away because he was a motorcycle guy. He had a bad car accident on his motorcycle. I share that with you, and then going over to my father, when I came out, I told my dad that I needed time away. I told my mom, and my mom said that my partner at the time, my significant other at the time, was always welcome in the house. And then my dad said he's not welcome in the house, and the lifestyle is not welcome in my house. And then he tried to pull scripture on me. I said, Dad, I went to a private Christian college for 2 years. If there's a scripture in the Bible that needs to be understood or read, I've read it a bazillion times. That doesn't negate who I am as a human being. That doesn't negate the light that I will shine once I move away the shame and the fear. So with that in mind, I shared with my dad that if he wanted to talk to me person to person, because he would always use scripture as a distraction from actually talking heart to heart, because it's easy for him. It was easy for him to just use the black and white of scripture to have a conversation with me. And I said, I want to have a heart to heart with you, and until you're ready to do that, I need some time and distance away. It was about 3 months, and I was getting ready to move to New York, and we had not spoken. And he had reached out, and I said, I will have lunch with you if we can just have a heart to heart. I will spend time with you if we have a hard time. It was a horrible time. My dad was one of my best friends, is one of my best friends, and I consider him somebody that I emulate and I think about all the time. And when he died, it left a void in my heart. It left a void in my beingness. I chose that while that abyss of a void would always be there, I would always allow good. Only good could get into that. I've fallen short. I've kind of gotten distracted in places in my life, but that's always a consistent reminder. And after my dad went through therapy, and to manage this, it was a big thing for him. He came to me with love. This is a very long story short. Family came to me with love, came to me with understanding, came to me with this beautiful relationship that was mended because of understanding that once I moved away all that shame, once I moved away all that sadness, and I moved it out of the way, I became the light in the world that I needed to be. I became fierce. I became courageous. I was able to stand for myself in a way I'd never been able to stand for myself before. And later, when he got cancer, it was another time in his life where he had to seek something deeper inside of himself. So when I came out, he had to seek deeper inside of himself. When the cancer hit, he had to seek deeper inside of himself. There wasn't anything in a black and white scriptural book that could answer the questions that he was having to answer for himself inside. Whether it be through prayer, whether it be through meditation, through therapy, when we help one another, that is when God works, in my opinion. So I say all of that because we all have a journey to go on. And there are a lot of people out there that are living in shame right now that you don't have to. Once you move that shame and you allow yourself to be truly who you are, be creative and in possibility, whatever hate or other, quote unquote, other experiences you're being told to have against a group of people is your own shame. It is your own fear. My encouragement is for you to look at that and move all of that stuff aside and let your light shine. Anyway, that's today's talk.